Hey friends. Hi friends on Facebook and wherever you're catching this. This is Sonica and Christian with the LoveWorks Solution from our home office slash studio where we're contained just like everybody else.
We want to actually take some time to talk about. Well, I'll just start actually first and just share. I'm feeling all the same stuff everybody else is. Somebody we did a little Zoom call with a bunch of extended family, and we were doing actually what we're going to recommend you guys do as well. We were just giving everybody a chance to share all of their feelings, and mine are ranging from fear and uncertainty, not knowing what the frick is happening, what's how this is going to impact our business. We have I also feel kind of hopeful. Like, I wonder what exciting things are going to be coming from this whole experience as for us, for human beings in general. And I also have the part of me that just wants to put my head in the sand and distract myself with playing piano and watching social media and movies and disappearing into books. And then there's a third part that really just wants to be present and milk in the moment and really be present to the ever changing truth of life and milk the moment as much as possible.
Yeah, and both Sonic and I were making sure. So last night, we sat down and shared a bunch of feelings we have about all of this with each other. We both, Sonica got on this call with extended family. I was at the same time in a group with my men's group. We've migrated to an online group, and yeah, man, I'm normally a very even keeled person, but I have a ton of feelings about all this, and how I was describing it, which is still true today, is I'm just going in this circle of fear, hope, opportunity, fear, sadness, despair, opportunity, fear, and it changes. I was going to say by the hour, but it's probably a lot less than that. I just have all these feelings about it. And same as Sonica, I can go from wanting to let's just pretend everything is great and holy shit, totally not great. I don't know what's going to happen. And no, let's look at what's the opportunity here. So, in any case, we have a lot of feelings about it. And I'd say that's probably a fair assumption for many of us.
So one of the things that I heard this concept once. It's this: expand to include, like expand to include all of the different feelings that we're all having. And one way to do that, actually, and we both did this last night in our respective groups, and then again with each other at the end of the evening, is to just grant a space for you to take turns if you're with somebody you love and just express all of it. And a great way to do that, we do this in our workshops as well. We do this little exercise, you could say, where we complete the phrase, if you really knew me, you would know this is what's going on for me right now. And when you just keep saying that over and over, and you let one person talk and just kind of keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into what their feelings are, and the other person just listens without interruption. Sometimes we have a tendency when we got a lot of feelings going on to want to jump in and try to fix it and correct it and turn it in a particular direction. And when you just do, if you really knew me, and you just let yourself drop down and really feel with the complexity of all that you're experiencing, it reconnects you with yourself and it reconnects you with people that you love.
Yeah. And, another thing is because there's so, tensions are running high and we naturally have a lot of feelings about, everything, all this uncertainty, all these changes, loss of income, loss of access to friends and family. It's really easy for the tensions to get high between us or, whoever is with you in your household, for Sonic and I or with our kids, or maybe you have relatives, a lot of our friends have gathered relatives. So there's hunkering down together. It's really easy for these emotions to come out and be outward directed at, whoever is close to you, like Sonica, So, part of what I shared was, if you really knew me, you'd know yesterday, like I was getting so frustrated and it came out at snapping at Sonica. You were over at the this, you were over at the sink, I was at the computer trying to express something, and you weren't getting it, at least in my opinion. And I was like, can you just like get over here? And I'm like, okay. So if you really knew me, you'd know that happens to me too, and I don't feel good about it. But a good way to deal with that afterwards is to do stuff like this. A simple way to, simple, safe space to share whatever it is you're going on. And you can add, like, I'm sorry that came out on you. It totally wasn't your fault. And I was, yeah, really, I was having the tension of the moment and it came out on you. I'm sorry about that.
Thanks for saying that. And what's so great about it, if you really knew me, like when you can just allow yourself all your feelings and allow your partner all their feelings, and when I'll just add on like a little variation of this practice is another activity that we teach called heart shares, which is really a similar activity where you're just giving each other the space to drop down and kind of put your insights on external speaker. And it's really just one person gets to share for as long as they want about whatever they got going on, and the other person just listens.
Just listen, yeah. And it's a great practice. Most of us, we definitely have time to do that now. But you could do it in 2-minute stints or in 5-minute stints or in unlimited, depending on how you set it up. But it's important that the person who's listening is doing just that. You just listen without comment or questions or anything. Just stay with whoever is sharing and listen to the best of your ability.
And I really try when I'm listening from that space to listen with my heart and to just, again, expand to include and allow it all. One of the best definitions I heard of love once is love is granting space to something to exist. And so when I just allow my feelings to exist without trying to fix or change anything, I bring love to those feelings and they transform. There's something that transforms when we just allow it to be there that doesn't happen when we're resisting and fighting and pushing against. And
and if you're someone like me, I'm very action oriented person. I'm one of those stereotypical guys who really had to learn to not just want to jump in with solutions and do the fixing thing always. Although that is often an admirable and effective quality. And I feel in this environment with all these changes, like that's my go-to. That's how I make myself feel useful. That's how I make myself feel safe, is what can I do? What am I going to do? Like, what's the next action? It's like, if it's the zombie apocalypse, I'm not just going to sit and wait for them to come to my house. I'm like, okay, what can we build? We're going to go out and build defenses. It's probably a little exaggerated in this example, but I find safety in action, and that has to be modified somehow these days, because a lot of the times what there is to do is inaction. Like, it's not to say there's nothing to do. We're doing something right now. We're connecting with you through Facebook Live, but a lot of the times there really isn't much to do, and it can be really useful to just slow down, drop in, and this is a great way to do that. Heart shares. You just take turns sharing what's on your heart or listening.
And all the other person does is says thank you. And then the other person gets to have a turn. And we'll actually, we have a document that spells out how to do a heart share, so we can post that, once we're done with this feed here for people who want to check in with that. And I want to say too, if tensions are running really high, a really great way to do it, some couples have done this. I was actually just talking to a woman who did this just last week. Her and her partner were, going at it, having a hard time with each other. And they came back to each other to do a heart share, and they sat back to back to each other. And what's kind of great about doing it back to back to each other, or doing it with your eyes closed, is you get less potentially triggered by your partner's facial expressions, or, it doesn't take you out as you're looking at somebody else. It kind of helps you drop down into yourself and connect with the deeper truths and fears and possibilities and dreams and grief and, just the whole myriad of different experiences that we're all having right now. It just gives you a chance to really drop in and feel it. And it's a good antidote as well to this whole tendency we all have to just distract ourselves, or like Christian was saying, like do something, or that wants to take us up and out rather than dropping down and in.
Yeah, and part of the desire we have for ourselves as well as for you. And one of the reasons we show up here, and we're going to show up here the next, I don't know how many days, at least for a week, is the commitment we made to ourselves at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So feel free to come ask questions or reach out for help. You can private message us or just do it here in the comment boxes. We'd like to come out of this situation not just having gotten through it, not just having watched every season possible of every show we like on Netflix, although we do that too, and it's really cool. We have that available. But we'd like to, it's part of our intention, is to use this time to come out with it with a deeper sense of us, with a stronger sense of who we are and who we want to be together, and what do we want to do moving forward. I think one of the opportunities here is some of our habits as human beings, both in how we do business and how we connect with each other and our family, are going to be maybe forever changed by what we're having to go through now. So we're trying to do some forward looking, because it helps us stay in a good space now. And I think it will prepare us better for when it's all said and done and we go back to normal, whatever that new normal is.
So we'd like to offer that, and we'll, just leave you with that gift of recommending actually that you sit down with the people that you live with, or if you are living by yourself and you're hunkered down alone, that you get on the phone with somebody else who maybe is also alone, or get on Zoom like we did last night with a bunch of us who were all separated, geographically all over the place, and you just do if you really knew me together, and the connection that gets created both inside of you with yourself and with other people is pretty profound and very much what is needed these days as we're being forced into physical distancing. It doesn't have to mean we're socially isolated.
No. So yeah, if you anything we can do for you to help with your relationship, if you need any kind of support, feel free to reach out to us. And if not, we're definitely going to see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock, same place and time. So until then, take really good care of yourselves and each other.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.